All right, coach is pumped up. Oh my goodness. So, I first off, I'll say I'm officially convinced that Jameis is the guy. Maybe Bailey Zappi is the QB of the future for next year. Like that would also make perfect sense. Like, why put him under and get destroyed in the Super Bowl this year when like Jameis can just get hurt or whatever excuse they give him in the Super Bowl. The reason I say this, so one, he's had the best promo of the entire season for any team with the MNF White Boy in Detroit promo call out he did. So I thought that was really weird, first of all, but tonight sealed it with me. They're calling him Batman. Now, am I like completely shocked as Jameis? No, I've been giving him shit for a while, but I will say before the season, he was originally my guy. Before I ever had the Aiden O'Connell thought or whatever, the only thing that made me doubt Jameis, to be honest with you, was that the Browns just go through so many quarterbacks, and it's like what happened back in the day. Like I said, Tommy O'Connell, I came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And maybe there's some Tommy O'Connell, Jameis Winston connections I missed. Very possible. I never looked at that, right? But as far as reasons I like Jameis Winston, he won the Peyton Manning Award, which I've since kind of distanced myself from loving that one as much. But I was originally looking at the Peyton Manning Awards because Peyton Manning broke the Lions curse, right? And it said it was for the best QB in football. And I saw a Deshaun Watson ad too. And I was like, well, either one of these guys gives you the Peyton Manning thing, right? So, and like Hendon was like robbed of it at Tennessee, but he played for the same school as Peyton. He did stuff Peyton never did. Now, I've always said that Hendon is my very favorite, so it's not like I ever had Bailey Zappi on the same tier as Hendon. Bailey's not really my type of quarterback, right? I don't like the Tom Brady type. I like the Randall Cunningham type, and that's who Hendon reminds me of. So, a Hendon versus Jameis battle actually is way more my flavor of Super Bowl, and I could totally rock with that. I think that'd be fun as hell. So I've actually talked myself into that entirely. But it's also nice having the insurance that if Jameis does get injured, we're not panicking like everybody else. Like, oh, they still got the Zap attack, right? Like they'll be fine. But the media is just all over Jameis, and I thought it was to hype him up to get injured and make you like just crushed, but I mean, it's a little too much. There's no way it's a bluff to me. This smells completely real. And they're not really saying anything about like they're kind of blowing some of it up a little bit better than what he's doing, but like he like I said, I told you I didn't doubt his heart, right? It's just he's a little bit dumb. He did the dumb pick six thing today. Zappi's not immune to that either, though. And what's his biggest flaw? He holds the ball too long. He's been getting the ball out way quick. Okay, so I don't know what's going on there. He needs to dial it in on the deep balls, but he's getting the balls in some windows. He definitely throws a little harder than you'd like on some passes, but on other ones, if he didn't throw it that hard, it wouldn't even get there. It'd get picked off or something like that. So overall, solid game by him. You take the one pass away, make one extra, make the one missed field goal. Completely different ball game. So I got no beef with Jameis. Chubb looked good before he got injured or whatever. I don't know what the deal is. Ford looks okay. Uh, Jerry Jeudy doing everything we wanted him to do. Myles Garrett getting amazing pressure. Denzel Ward locking it down. Rodney McLeod, probably the easiest player for me on the entire team to root for because I already trusted him and he delivered to win a Super Bowl. Like, I remember Rodney McLeod got an injury. And I was trying to tell, like, my Cowboys friends and stuff, like, who I actually thought knew football. Not that hardly any Cowboys fans do, but this one in particular was of the smarter variety. He usually knows, like, all players, but I was like, oh, Rodney McLeod's, like, battling an injury. Like, I'm a little concerned about it. And he's just like, who? And I'm like, all-pro safety? Like, are you out of your mind? You don't know how Rodney McLeod is? Like, I thought I respected you. Right, so, yeah, I've thought Rodney McLeod was that dude for a while. I'm sure he's past his prime at this point by a mile. That doesn't mean he's not a savvy, dangerous presence at cornerback who knows what getting a championship requires, right? So I have zero concerns about him. The other safety was a huge liability forever. They're like concerned that he's like missing games right now, but I'm pretty sure it's the guy we didn't like. I couldn't remember if it was his name or not, but I knew the one that was starting was absolute trash. So super happy if that is the guy that they got someone else in there now, no matter who it is, pretty much. And Njoku looking great. Honestly, nobody to complain about. Am I forgetting anybody? Like, no huge mistakes. The kicker, of course, we've already known he's cursed or something, whatever, but we still trust in him to somehow get it together and hit a 68-yarder for us when it fucking matters, right? So, let's see. I think we covered everybody. I mean, like, we didn't really talk about the offensive line, but Jameis has had some pockets that were as good as you could ever want. Doesn't seem like they're getting a ton of push in the run game at certain times, but then other times they'll get like a 20-yard run. So, not normally want to talk about football stuff all the time, but, of course, like as far as like what the actual play on the field, but, it's officially that time for the Browns. We still can just twiddle our thumbs and basically wait for the postseason to start for the Lions and not even have to care as long as nobody else important gets injured, but even then we were going to know it's a bluff, right? But we'll at least like cover it and see what's going on there. But we're pretty much bored on the lines. What's really interesting is I was shopping for books today and I found an insane amount. I was actually disturbed at how much money, like it was literally hundreds of dollars if I want to get just the stuff to cover Lions and Browns and Guardians, and not even all the Guardians, just like the important Guardian stuff. So it's like shit, it was like hundreds of dollars. And as far as there was like literally only 2 Lions books on the list, and they weren't all that. Granted, I do have 1 Lions book and a Ford book coming in, right? So really it's like got a little bit of, to sink our teeth into with the Lions, but they do have this one really nice book that's like $50. It's all about how they rebuilt this team that made the past deep playoff run, so it's like really up to date and stuff too. So I'd like to read that one just to catch up on some of the little stuff I missed. Like, I still don't know everything that went down with the Patricia stuff. Like, I got the general overview and stuff, but I'd still like to get some of the finer points and understand like exactly what the Ford family's involvement is and everything. Let's see. Oh, but the Browns, I mean, it's just endless. Like, I'm telling you, there's no way it's not the fucking Browns. Like, if the Lions weren't as good as they were, and we didn't have like as awesome codes as we do, obviously, like, it would be so much easier to believe in this Browns team. Like, if we didn't know anything beforehand and you just told me like these 2 teams were going to make it, and then, without doing the tricks and stuff, we just looked at the history, it'd be like, it's way easier sell for the Browns and the Lions. Like, the Lions just aren't nearly as interesting. It's crazy. Like, that doesn't mean they're not incredibly interesting, but the Browns are just like the coolest team ever. Like, I'm just calling it. Like, the Browns are the shit. I cannot fucking wait for 2045. I talk about, how like I'm be chilling in Miami in 2047 and stuff, but I'm be drunk as fuck when the Browns win in 2045. I'm probably not even drinking for this one. Like, this Super Bowl is just so awesome. Like, as far as the matchup and stuff, like when the Browns finally win it, I'm probably just gonna be out of my mind hammered. Like, because that's just the coolest thing they could ever fucking do. Like, it has to happen in 2045. I'm gonna start drinking as soon as Jimmy Haslam drops dead and not finish until after the Super Bowl. So that's where I'm gonna be at there now. But yeah, that's man, it's just crazy. Like, the Lions are interesting because they suck. And like, they've gotten like some great players over the years and stuff, but just like the Browns have just been through everything, hell and back. Like, they're just grateful to have any spot in the NFL whatsoever. And we're talking about a team that has 8 championships. Like, how? They're like, how it was all. Ain't no way the league would ever move a team that had 8 fucking championships. Like, it's just insane. All right, so that's just where I'm at with it. Still very pumped. The second half has started. The Browns got a first down. Looks like there's a flag. We're not gonna watch the whole thing in real time, obviously, but man, I would have been really nervous if they didn't score that last touchdown, just because, so they were down 11 and they cut it to 4 at the half. And I had a feeling they would do it, but to me, like, I always try to get into the psychology of the teams and stuff. It would be really hard for me if I'm on that defense trying to justify going out there and busting my ass when it's just another game where the offense can only score 10 points and a half and the other team already has 21, like it's over. They're not going to score more, like, unless. Now, what I will say as far as the reasons I think like they will pull this out, of course, besides all of our other reasons, like actual just in-game football reasons. So the Broncos, I believe, already cashed in on their defensive touchdown. I think they're done with those. But our Browns, they have gotten a pick and maybe two already, right? But like they haven't put any points on the board, and we know our team is good for stuff like that. Bo Nix is a rookie. Myles Garrett is getting there. I'm telling you, that ball is coming out, and he's scooping up and getting a score. I'm saying Myles Garrett specifically, defensive touchdown.